Welcome back. In the previous part, we had a bit of fun here with... Oh, I expected him to be over here, like she told him to get to work, but I expected Shlomes to be over here, being a waxwork, but he seems to have vanished. He was meant to get back to work, but she's not gonna be happy. She's not gonna be happy. So anyway, let's speak to... Have I done that one? Really? Okay, the stolen waxwork. Tell us more about the stolen waxwork, please. It was some days ago now. I came in here one morning. I immediately noticed that a waxwork was missing from the special exhibit here. It is your most prominent display. So, that's why the curtains were closed? And I found the ransom note in its place. The culprit must have broken in during the night and taken it then. So this waxwork that was stolen, it was a model of some horrible criminal, I suppose. Uh-oh. Of a particular horrible criminal, in fact. The killer who left a more profound scar on society than any other, I would say. The Professor. Not a name I've heard of. There he is. So, Mr. Naruhodo, it seems the circle is complete. Sorry? The Professor case happened at around the time I was born, didn't it? Indeed it did, Iris. 10 years ago. A series of moiders that rocked the capital. 10 years ago. Yes. At exactly the time that Barak von Ziek graduated from university, in fact. What? Surely he's not saying... So the big event that changed Mr. Reaper's life? As you've surmised, it was the Professor case. Who was this Professor then? The Professor. It was a series of gruesome murders that had all of London gripped in terror a decade ago. After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death. And now he's immortalized here in wax for all Londoners to admire and enjoy. And though, of course, he happens to be absent at present on account of the abduction. But I don't understand. How is all this related to Lord Van Zieks? You must first understand, my dear fellow, why it is that the Professor earned such infamy. It was due to the victims he chose, some of Whitehall's finest. What do you mean, Hurley? Those murders by the Professor were some of the highest members of the British aristocracy. Members of the nobility, even royalty. It sent shockwaves through the country's administration. Members of the... wait, of course. What Professor Harebrained said. Lord Van Zieks is from a family with noble blood. Oh gosh. It was the 5th victim that led to the Professor's arrest. The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of Clint Van Zieks. No. I don't believe it. Van Zieks? I'm sure you can piece together the rest for yourself. In the wake of his older brother's murder, the young Barak pursued a career as a prosecutor, and eventually became the Reaper we know today. I had no idea Lord Van Zieks had such a tragic past. Well, I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter. For the time being, at least. After all, I have work to do. As a waxwork exhibit, there we go. I am afraid I shall have to excuse myself as well. Oh, yes, of course. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. The plot does thicken. Well, none of the predicted scenarios I've been analyzing involve you coming to visit me here. Ah. It's been too long, it really has. I'm delighted to see you, Barak. It's been 10 years, and here we are, meeting in a prison of all places. I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Asman. I just can't. I still can't believe it could happen. Tomorrow, the court will decide. Yes. I have a young Eastern man acting for my defense. He seems reliable enough, though. It was an accident. A terrible accident. He assures me he can prove it. I must warn you. Oh, I know. I've heard already. You're going to be prosecuting, aren't you? Yes. Since I returned to England, I've heard lots of stories. Barak, are you really... What? Never mind. I know that you have my best interest at heart. My friend is on trial. I wouldn't entrust it to anybody else. Of course, I fully understand. Thank you, Barak. Until tomorrow, then. I'll see you in court. I'm really liking Barak as a character. Like, there's so much depth to him. To be continued, yeah, like now, you know. We'll get to it, Come on. Come on! I don't want to save, I know you know. 23rd of October, 8:52 a.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Can't believe it's been 6 months since I was last allowed to work in court. And now here I am, back at the Old Bailey. Mr. Naruto. Good morning, Professor Harebrain. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. The atmospheric pressure in here is off the charts. I've never felt anything like it. It's crushing me. I feel it every time I'm here. That gravity. Well, this is Britain's highest court. But are you telling me it's fitted with some kind of device that can actually control air pressure? I think it's probably all in the mind. Ah, yes. Well, you won't let me down, will you, Mr. Naruto? I'm counting on you in today's trial to save my life. To save the secret of my super high velocity instantaneous kinesis machine from being made public. Yes, I understand. I know what I have to do. I have to establish that the explosion 2 days ago was nothing more than an unfortunate accident. Well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, really. Justice will prevail. My commiserations, Mr. Naruto. You appear to have been lumbered with a most tiresome case here. Mr. Sholmes, I didn't expect to see you here. That was very mean, Runo, leaving me alone at home with Hurley. Took me at least an hour to wake him. Is it... Are you... Sherlock Sholmes? Indeed, sir. I am he, Sherlock Sholmes. Oh, I've heard all about your exploits, even whilst living in Germany. Ah yes, Rant's magazine is on sale in Germany too. This month's installment was sublime. Your deduction in the adventure of the Silver Blaze was wonderful. Ah yes, a memorable case indeed. It concerned a snake, I seem to recall. No, that was the Speckled Band. Well, thank you for coming. I do appreciate your support. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my dear fellow, but I'm afraid I can't stay. Oh. I've heard your business at Madame Tuspel's. You mean your waxwork job? No, the waxwork abduction, of course. Madame has engaged my services. So you're trying to get to the bottom of that ransom note, aren't you? The week's wages depend on it. As does the safe return to the waxwork, naturally. As such, I intend to give it my undivided attention. Oh, well, never mind then. I understand. Of course, with my skills of observation and reasoning, resolving the matter will be easy as proverbial pie. I shall return forthwith. For until I solve the case, I shall have no money to afford a pie of any description. Oh, then you must absolutely give it your full attention, Hurley. Quite, Iris, quite. But life is riddled with irony, you know. Whenever I give something my full attention, I have a quite insatiable desire for a pie. One of the universe's intractable mysteries, you might say. Oh, yes, quite, definitely, absolutely. I totally understand. Is someone a little starstruck? I wish you the very best of luck, Professor Harebrained. Oh, why thank you. Before I depart, Mr. Naruhodo, a word in your ear, if you please. What's this about? As you have remarkably little grounding in science, I feel I ought to inform you. As compelling as this super high voltage instantaneous kinesis hypothesis may be, a practical implementation such as was attempted by the professor at the Great Exhibition is quite impossible. But the professor said the demonstration was a success. Yes, it would appear that he fervently believes it was. I've read Professor Bunny Brain's paper about it too, Bruno. And I have to say, I'm sure it can't be done. It could barely be done theoretically, let alone practically. So he's completely barking up the wrong tree? But how would an experiment that had no possibility of succeeding in fact succeed? That's contradictory. And it's that contradiction that will be at the heart of the trial, I've no doubt. What's that supposed to mean? Now, I must hurry along. I wish you the best of luck, my dear fellow. See you later, Harry! Well, looks like you're on your own today, Bruno. But you know, you can do it. Oh, what about you, Iris? Yeah, like, what are you doing then? I thought you were staying. No, I'm afraid I can't help. I have something I need to do. I see. It's going to be a big surprise for you when you find out what it is. Sounds ominous. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court is about to be in session. Make your way into the courtroom at once. We're on our way. An experiment that the laws of science say can't possibly succeed. And a scientist who's convinced that it did. That's the riddle you have to unlock here, Ryunosuke. That's the key to this case. That simply broke the laws of science. 23rd of October, 9:10 a.m. The Old Bailey, Courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are sitting today for the public trial of Professor Albert Harebrained. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. The defense is... The defense is ready, my lord. I think... I'm 6 months out of practice, and what's more... Oh. I'm without Suzuto-san today. Aw. Is it just my imagination, or does the air in here feel more oppressive than usual? So, I must say I recollect the victim of this case all too well. Mr. Ori Asman. Mr. Asman was well known as a financier, though that was merely a front for his diverse criminal activities. It was only a month ago that the man appeared in court prosecuted by you, Lord Van Zykes, but the jury unanimously found him not guilty. Because every member of the jury had been bribed by the sound of it. These powerful London criminals are prepared to go to extreme lengths to keep their freedom. But 2 days ago, on 21st of October, Mr. Asman met his end. The work of the Reaper, was it? If that is how your lordship would describe divine retribution. But the fact remains that Mr. Asman's death was a direct result of the actions of the accused Professor Hairbrain. Very well then. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people. Are the 6 of you ready to fulfill your societal duty? Oh, got a new selection of people from the looks of it. I'm most gratified to have been selected to carry out this important civic duty, my lord. Oh, hello. Do you have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand? Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down the spine. It's the magician. Science experiments, magic, conjuring tricks, courtroom trials, all are nothing more than performances. This very scholar that defiles the reputation of science deserves to hang. Court. We have to listen to what's said on both sides of the fence and settle on one. That's it, isn't it? How much corn do you have? Oh god, I thought he died. He's got a shooter! What was it? What's it nice about, eh? What's it nice at all? He's got a can. That's the police killer Otomo lookalike. Again. And he's as exhausted as ever, it seems. Now, as I'm sure you are all aware, the incident we are here to judge today tragically took place at the Great Exhibition shortly after its opening. Though the death toll could have been far worse. With the exception of the victim, no one was killed. Nevertheless, the dream of the science being exhibited rapidly turned into a nightmare for the spectators. A tragic turn of events, and as such the eyes of all didn't know. The whole world will be on this trial. It is our duty to reach a swift and just conclusion, I feel. So, your opening statement, please, Lord Van Zykes. At the heart of this incident is technology never before demonstrated anywhere in the world. One of science's latest developments, I take it. The government is keen to capitalize on the Great Exhibition to improve Britain's technological advantage. The technology being demonstrated by the accused was described as super high voltage instantaneous kinesis. Good lord! It's designed to disassemble human subjects using extremely high voltage electricity and beam them instantly to another location where they are subsequently reassembled. Is such a thing even within the realms of possibility? Well, I don't believe it. That's for sure. Disassembling people with electricity. My goodness. How shocking. Huh. Your idea is absurd. The hypothesis would never stand up to scrutiny. Sir, I believe you are a fellow of the Royal Society, are you not? An expert in your field? I am, and my word on the matter can be considered final. Instantaneous kinesis is poppycock. So this experiment and Mr. Shlooms are in agreement. It's impossible. What is the prosecution's view on the matter? The prosecution would assert that the accused instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a success. What? What? Oh my. Ooda, ooda. The professor hypothesis is currently under investigation by the British government. If it is deemed to have merit, a substantial research grant would be made available. The accused made use of the invention built on his new hypothesis to take Mr. Asman's life. In order to be the sole benefactor of the grant. But this disastrous demonstration was no accident. It was carefully designed from the outset to end the life of the victim. Oh my, sorry. Thank you, Lord Van Zyx. The prosecution's stance is clear. But you will now bring forth witnesses to substantiate your claims. Gladly, my lord. He means business. Bailiff, show the first witness to the stand. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. I was on duty at the demonstration on the day in question and in charge of the following investigating. Alright. Albert Harebrain, scientist. You were born in England, but have been carrying out research in Germany in recent years, correct? Yes, that's right. After graduating from university here in Britain, I went to work in Germany and made an amazing discovery. Which is what brought me back. I had to demonstrate my incredible hypothesis to the Great Exhibition. What you demonstrate was incredible, alright? An incredible explosion. But the science was a success. The instantaneous kinesis worked. Everyone saw it, they must have done. Yes, there was the terrible accident, but the demonstration of my hypothesis was a success. Well, that much is undeniable, as shown in this photograph taken by the forensic investigation team. Let's have a look then. Alright, what we got going on here then? This was taken inside the Crystal Tower, I take it. The centerpiece of the exhibition, no less. Right, so, right. Because I'm thinking body double. But how much is that going to be substantiated by this? So, like... So he's got a little mole on his face. Very strange sideburns. I'm just trying to think, like, signifiers. The sideburns match up. You can see, like, you could just see the mole is there in that image. So, like, yeah. Very strange sideburns, pointy up near the mustache. Seems like it's a good. It's like either it's a really good double, or it is him. Simple as that. Don't know about the color of his eyes, though. What about the glasses? Is the thing in the right location? It seems to match. So if it's a body double, they've done good. I don't see anything that would be like, no, that's not him, no. Just seems to be correct. All right. That's right, my lord. It seems the victim rammed straight into it. I see. Very well. Submit the photograph as evidence. The photograph of the victim has been entered into the court record. A photographic print of the victim taken after he ostensibly been beamed to the Crystal Tower It shows an apparent stab wound in the chest. Alright, I want to look at that first. Let's get more info on this. Let's have a look. Magnifying glass. There's his eyes. There's the mole. Right there. I feel like the mole's going to be an indicator in this, but it's like, oh dear. Properly been jabbed in it. Properly. Alright. I'll investigate further. Is that just a shadow for his nose there? Because it's like it's purple nose there. Purple nose. That mouth. That mouth. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. As the court said, the victim in the incident was Mr. Odiasman. There have been a number of allegations made against the member, putting them aside for the time being. He was the man who financed the research for the experiment and the demonstration itself. I see. So to summarize the situation, the defendant is accused of taking the life of the man who funded his work. Would that be correct? Exactly. But couldn't it be that the explosion was caused by some malfunction in the apparatus used for the demonstration? That's right. That must be it. My splendid machine. My poor, splendid machine. You saw it yesterday, didn't you? We can't even examine the wreckage thanks to this Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. What? The wreckage? The wreckage. Well, that being the case, how can the facts be established? How can it possibly be determined whether this was an accident or a deliberate and malicious act? Extremely simply, my lord. I beg your pardon? Isn't that right, witness? What? Sorry, me? No, your neighbor. Yes, sir. I was murder, plain and simple. Anyone could state that with complete certainty. What? How could he possibly think that? Thank you, Inspector. I think we had better proceed to a formal testimony. You will explain to the court on what grounds you claim this experiment to have been a front for murder.